All right, it's 1:31. It's the Bob and Dan radio program with the great Donovan out at the Hilton Anatole. We have a halftime show here for Cowboy Talk. And appearing at halftime.
I love the music.
Oh, is this the Karate Kid music?
You ever seen Karate Kid, Landon?
I think so.
This is the great Landon Donovan, everybody. Yay!
Yeah.
The very busy Landon Donovan.
Been to Hartford.
I have. A beautiful town.
The humbled Landon Donovan, right? Would you say that? I've found recently there's been a misuse of the word humbled. LeBron will win an MVP for the third time and say he's humbled. Yeah, I'm humbled by this max-out contract.
Right.
I believe you're a top-notch, world-class athlete who actually was humbled, I guess, by the big news of this year, of course.
Yeah, that's a wake-up call for sure. Definitely an ego hit, but it's part of life. It's part of sports, unfortunately, and this time I was on the wrong end of that.
You played it amazingly, in my opinion. Certainly, I can just pretty much tell you as a U.S. men's national team cheerleader over here, it bummed the heck out of me in many regards to kind of see that roll that way. But love the way you handled it with the commercial. I thought that was like the greatest thing ever.
Well, it wasn't easy. It certainly wasn't like I woke up the next morning and said, hey, let's do a commercial.
Let's do something funny about this.
Right. It took a few weeks for me to really sort of process it and grieve and be sad with it and get over it. But I came to a realization where I said, you know what, there's worse things in life than not going to a World Cup for the fourth time. Like, you're going to be okay, so let's get over it.
Yeah, and I guess that's really the takeaway, because your life, and you're just 32, so I don't mean to talk about you like you're 60, especially to your face.
I feel 60.
But you kind of your career encapsulates most of our following of the national team. 94, of course, was before your time, but we really got into it and just got to see things because we knew we had young Landon Donovan, young DeMarcus Beasley, and this crew that could really make this thing special. So just from that standpoint, the quickness that the entire career goes by, it has to be striking to you.
Yeah.
Just that, I swear, we were just starting a little while ago, and then you blink and we're here.
I was in the locker room the other night after the game, and everyone had sort of left. I had to stay behind and do some stuff, and everyone had left. And I was standing there, and on one hand I felt like, gosh, I feel like it was just yesterday I was a 16-year-old putting on a under-17 national team jersey. And on the other hand, I felt like, God, this has been forever. I mean, like, I can't believe how long this has been. So it's been a crazy ride. It's been enjoyable. It's been painful at times, but overall I'm really grateful. I've had a really nice career.
I think it's cliche when a guy does get to the end for people to say he did it his way. I think it fits you perfectly, because as special a player as you were, I don't think you necessarily cared about how everyone else thought you should live your life. And at times it frustrated me at times, because I thought you should have been here playing here, and doing this.
Sure.
But in looking back, I love the fact that you didn't really care. You did what you wanted to do.
We're athletes, but we're also human beings, and so you have to live the life that you want to live. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are telling Jason Garrett at the beginning of the year to do certain things this way and that way, or Tony Romo needs to, step up in the pocket and make this. At the end of the day, we have to do things we want to do. We have to live the life that we want to live. We have to try to be happy. Nobody else lives our life but us, so I've tried to keep that in mind. It's not always wildly popular amongst fans, but I've tried to do things that were gonna make me happy.
How tough was that decision to let it go?
It was tough. I mean, more than just not making a team, I just felt like I was disrespected. And so as a human being, as a man, when you feel disrespected, that's tough. And so that part took a long time for me to get over.
Was it unexpected, totally?
Yeah, it was.
So blindsided.
Yeah, it was unexpected in a couple reasons. One, I thought I was doing well and I should make the team. Two, I remember the day before Jurgen had said, in a press conference that he was going to wait probably another week or so to announce the team. So we were sort of expecting that to happen, and it was the next day that he pulled us all aside and told us, so that was a little unexpected too.
It's Landon Donovan with us here on the ticket, just part of the SMU Athletic Forum. In fact, it's part of your whirlwind. You play Friday, you play Sunday, and then you do this on Monday. And I would imagine, as I talk more macro about your career, the soccer season in and of itself is long. Then you're jumping from squad to squad in the MLS offseason, go play a little bit for Everton, run back here, all the national team stuff. There's almost no off-season. So some respects, I have to believe by January you'll be looking around wondering what to do with your time, right?
Yeah, there's going to be the initial excitement of saying, gosh, I don't have to get up and go to training. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. And then at some point it's probably going to cause some anxiety to not have things to do. But I've thought about this for a long time, and there's a lot of things I want to do, a lot of travel I'm going to do, spend a lot of time with my family, try a bunch of different things I've always wanted to try doing that I haven't been able to do, and then at some point work my way back in and figure out what's next for me career-wise.
Give us an example. Like the pyramids, what do you need to see? What are we going to do? Mount
Pyramids
Rushmore?
is a good one. I hadn't thought about the pyramids.
Okay.
I want to do like island vacation, sit on the beach, get fat, drink, relax. I want to do
stuff we do.
Well,
yeah.
Well, now may I say, when in watching the national team or watching the soccer TV shows, they'll always talk about Landon in Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means. I know you disappeared to find yourself or take a break or something. I'm sure you've detailed it, but what did that mean? And why Cambodia?
Well, I wanted to get someone suggested it. And I looked it up online, and it sort of resonated, so I said, okay, why not? I just needed to get away. I was completely burnt out, completely over everything that had gone on the past few years, and I just needed to get away. And so it sounds so weird, Cambodia, and all, like I'm on a foreign planet or something, but it was just a nice place for me to get away and relax.
So you talk about sitting on a beach and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So 32 years old, how long have you been... when did you get totally immersed in soccer to where it's every day, it's kind of your whole day?
Yeah, well, I mean, at 2, my mom says when I could start walking, my older brother was playing with me. So, I mean, this has literally been a part of my life since I could start walking. And then it's been probably every day I'm either kicking a soccer ball or thinking about kicking a soccer ball for the last 30 years. So it'll be nice to not think about that.
So you didn't... But, like, when did you start? We have kids and talk about, we see other kids that are 8 years old going to 4 practices a week and all that. I mean, was it that young?
Well, in that time it wasn't. Yeah, it was that young, but in that time it wasn't as hectic as it is now. I mean, these kids train a lot now. They play a lot. I played a lot of games. We didn't have much practices. So I would play on 2 different teams growing up just so I could play the games.
Okay.
What is the one default moment, if I mention your career, that I hate to be cliche here, but I have a couple in mind that are my favorite Landon Donovan moments.
What are they?
Well, they're everyone's, right? It's certainly Mexico in 2002 and the incredible Go USA moment in 2010 that is so mind-boggling. I mean, I that's got to be number one. If I'm allowed to pick for you, I would say,
which you are,
it's got to be Algeria.
As far as actual moments go, that moment was so important in the big scheme of things. I mean, for us on the field as athletes, you're sort of just doing your job. I mean, my job was to be in that spot and score. But when you look at it probably from a historical perspective and what it meant for our sport, then you can realize why it would be such a big moment.
Tell me you've watched all the reaction.
I have.
Like
I have.
100 times, right?
I have, yeah. Gives me goosebumps.
It gives me goosebumps. It was 4 stinking years ago, and it's one of those games that I would never delete. And it all boils down to one moment. And so as you're there and the rebound, I don't know, you almost say, I wish I could hit pause in life and just kind of go over what's going through my head at this particular pivotal moment of life, right?
Totally. And, this kind of sounds stupid, but I wish I could have experienced it as a fan.
Dude.
To sort of go up and down with it. And I'm a huge sports fan. I've watched, I watched the Kirk Gibson home run in the World Series, and all these moments I love watching. I wish I could have watched that. And actually, you just gave me an idea. I'm going to when I retire, I'm going to go back and watch all these games. I've never watched all these games, so I'm going to go back and watch some of these games.
If you need any of them, I got them for you.
You got them on DVD.
Because you got to keep those World Cup moments. It's unbelievable just from the standpoint, and this, I suppose, is more going back to 2014 and the profound effect that had on everyone, let alone you, but just the idea that you guys play where your window of your prime only crosses paths with one or two World Cups because they happen every 4 years. It's just a timing thing. You were part of 4 stories in World Cups, so I suppose that makes you the outlier based on
sure. It's different than other sports, and that's what's cool about World Cups is you represent your country. So guys in the NFL don't have that opportunity. In the NBA, they have it once in a while, in baseball to some extent, but it's not the same. For us, we get this really cool opportunity to play with a national team crest on our shirt and, hear the national anthem before the game and play for our country. It's really cool.
What was the name of the documentary that they had?
The
spring?
About
the 2014, yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but ESPN did it, the series.
Now, I wanted to talk about the drill. Remember the drill that they had to explain
I
remember. The players had to go through. But they really didn't explain it thoroughly, and it looked like it beat you to high holy as you have to run back.
Was it the beep test?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
That just brings back bad memories every time I hear those 2 words.
Yeah, they didn't explain it.
It's basically, I think it's 10 yards apart, and you basically run back and forth until you can't run anymore. So it's like, it's just the dumbest thing ever. It's so stupid.
Since you were in a commercial for it, do you play FIFA?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I played since I was really young. I always loved Christmas was like, I could not wait for Christmas to get the new FIFA game and play.
So you're already good at the new version?
I'm all right.
And who do you play with, may I ask that?
Who do you think?
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know if that's a loaded question or not. If you just play as yourself all the time.
I'm not going to say I play with myself, if that's what you're asking.
I was trying to lead you into that direction. All right, it's Landon Donovan here for just a minute or two more. How'd it go inside?
It was great. This is a really cool event, and I didn't know a lot about it. I had heard about it, and they said, Archie Manning, Mike Modano did it. Archie Manning's coming to do it. It makes you realize how special it is, and it's a really cool opportunity. I was also saying that it's cool that they get to bring in some of these young kids to sit and watch, because when I was growing up, I didn't have a chance to sit and watch some of my idols and listen to them speak. So it's a really neat opportunity for them.
I feel like in many respects you're as equipped to answer this question as anyone, but I don't know. I have to throw it at you. Just the idea of the growth. It's a vague conversation about the growth of soccer, the growth of the national team or whatever, but just what it does to this country now in World Cup years is not like what you saw in 98 or you experienced in 02. It's just different. It's so much bigger.
It's crazy. It's honestly crazy. 12 years ago, we wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't be having me on your show. There wouldn't be 800 people in that auditorium coming to listen to a soccer player. I played last night at Toyota Stadium against FC Dallas, and it was either full or almost full, the stadium. All these things wouldn't have happened. I used to play in the Cotton Bowl against Dallas Burn, and there'd be like 1,000 people in there, and you could hear every word everyone had to say.
Right.
So it was like times are changed, and it's cool to be a part of that.
Hey, 20,000 people in Frisco during a Cowboys-Seahawks game.
Not bad, right?
That's crazy.
Not bad.
That's absolutely crazy. Listen, it's a pleasure to talk with you again. Your career is fantastic. I'm a huge fan and happy to visit with you again, man. It's gosh, I don't have to say you're the best American soccer player. You are.
You could say it. I don't mind.
You are.
Great to have you on again, guys. Man. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Landon. That is Landon Donovan.
Yay! Nice name. Very nice name.